Few people have thought more about an MRT than this man. Tribudi Raharjo is the director of Jakarta's mass rapid transit.
Jakarta needs MRT for a few reasons. Primarily, a few studies have cited that by 2020, Jakarta will be stuck if no attempts are made to improve the transportation system.
In 2011, the first phase of the MRT will break ground. Modelled off existing systems in Asia, the MRT is designed to relieve congestion in the city. Raharjo's job is not only to build it, but to get people on board.
Jadi memang MRT ini dikhususkan supaya
MRT is aimed for motorists of private vehicles to one day make the switch to taking MRTs.
lebih menyukai menggunakan MRT.
And to entice motorists to desert their cars in favour of the new system, Jakarta must plan big. The first phase of the MRT will have one line. Extending north-south, it will run along 22 kilometers of track, with 21 stations, 7 elevated, and 14 underground. 6 car trains, each able to carry 1,500 passengers, will run every 5 minutes, for a total daily capacity of 350,000 passengers. The second phase will run east-west, covering 87 kilometers with 48 stations. The final MRT plan will interconnect highways, the rail system, 15 corridors of busway, and a planned monorail. An integrated network linking every corner of the city. And Raharjo knows what lies ahead for him and his team.
Our challenge as an operator is how to get people to move from using their private cars or private vehicles to mass rapid. The second challenge is the expensive price of land. We design it in such a way that we don't have to buy up a lot of land. The third challenge is the integration of the transport system.
And one of the biggest engineering challenges of all is managing water.
The underground section will be at high risk for flooding. We look at Bangkok and Hong Kong, and there exists what's called a countermeasure, where we will raise the floor or mount up the entrance. That'll be in addition to the drainage system like they have in Singapore. So we've looked at it from the technical and engineering standpoints, and that shouldn't be a problem.
In the battle against flooding, Jakarta's foot soldiers are engineers. Technology, their weapons. And south of the city, new battle lines are being drawn. This is the Situ Gintun Dam and Reservoir. It's being built to replace the old dam, which failed to hold back the rising waters. And it will prevent the worst that Mother Nature has to offer. Bitoyo Subandrio is a manager at the Ministry of Public Works. He was once in charge of building the Eastern Flood Canal. Today, he's rebuilding this dam to be bigger and stronger. The dam and reservoir will allow for the collection and slow release of floodwater into the city rivers.
The floods of 2002 and 2007 were the biggest floods to date. More than half of Jakarta was drowned. So we have to take action against this.
This reservoir is one of 182 water catchment areas outside of Jakarta. But there used to be over 200 such areas, and therein lies the challenge.
Dulunya 202, tinggal 100.
The other 20 are all gone. Gone how? They've turned into residential areas. Some have become highways, and for other reasons.
Population pressure over the last century has encroached on land needed for flood control. As land decreased, the risk of flooding increased. Situgitung Reservoir used to be 35 hectares. Over time, encroachment reduced it to 21 hectares.
This area had shrunk to the point that this area in the reservoir here could no longer contain the rainfall. So what happened was a spilling over that ended up being a natural disaster.
The new dam will be 14 meters high and 200 meters wide. Reinforced concrete footings will lock the structure into the subsoil. And the holding reservoir is being dredged.
Mata air yang ada di tengah.
The water that fills up Lake Gintung here comes from rainfall that drops on the catchment area. Slowly, water will rise. And then these here are the spillways we are building. Water will run over the spillway if ever there's a flood, which we will also help control with floodgates. So that water will flow from upstream all the way downstream at the Sangrahan River.
Water will be slowly released from the dam. And downstream, the canals and rivers will no longer overflow.
Dari beton.
We have now rebuilt it. The spillway here is made out of concrete. There'll be a canal a kilometer long over there. This will all be complete by December this year, 2010.
And another source of flooding will be brought under control. Change in Jakarta is all about managing the flow. And in the battle to keep the canals and rivers flowing, the city has declared war against garbage. Today, the city's waterways are flowing at only 50 to 70% of their capacity. And the culprit is trash. The canals and rivers have been silted up with 9 million cubic meters of sediment and rubbish. For Agus Wahidi, the war against garbage is a daily battle.
Every day, typically, there's a ton of trash or more. When it rains, the trash reaches 4 tons or more.
Wahidi has to get it out. And there are 20 more traps like this throughout the city.